My name is Detective Sarah Reynolds, and I've seen my fair share of strange and unsettling cases throughout my career. But nothing could have prepared me for the mysteries that awaited me at the infamous Holloway Mansion, a place with a reputation for being one of the most haunted locations in the country. The mansion had stood for centuries, its imposing facade cloaked in an eerie mist that seemed to linger year-round. Tales of ghostly apparitions, disembodied voices, and unexplained phenomena had swirled around the mansion for generations. It was said to be a place where the veil between the living and the dead was thin, a place where the past and present converged in chilling ways. My team and I had been called in to investigate a series of disturbing and unexplainable events that had been captured on the mansion's security cameras. The owner, a wealthy recluse who had recently inherited the property, had been experiencing strange occurrences that defied all rational explanation. As I reviewed the footage, I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The mansion's interior was a grand, opulent maze of dark, wood-paneled hallways and ornate, dimly lit rooms, but it was what the cameras had captured that sent shivers down my spine. The footage showed objects moving on their own, as if guided by unseen hands. Chairs slid across the floor, doors swung open and closed of their own accord, and paintings hung crooked on the walls, defying the laws of physics. But it was the glimpses of shadowy figures that were the most unsettling of all, apparitions that seemed to materialize and vanish at will. My team and I spent hours reviewing the footage, trying to make sense of the inexplicable events. We ruled out any possibility of tampering or manipulation, and the security cameras themselves appeared to be in perfect working order. With each passing day, the occurrences grew more frequent and more bizarre. The owner had reported hearing voices in the dead of night, whispers that seemed to come from nowhere and yet everywhere at once. Footsteps echoed through the mansion's empty halls, and the temperature dropped inexplicably in certain areas. We decided to set up a temporary base of operations within the mansion itself, hoping to capture any evidence of paranormal activity firsthand. As night fell, we huddled together in the grand foyer, our equipment at the ready and our nerves on edge. It didn't take long for the mansion to come alive with eerie activity. Our cameras recorded shadowy figures moving through the darkness, their forms distorted and indistinct. The temperature plummeted, and an otherworldly chill settled over the room. We attempted to communicate with whatever entities might be present, asking questions aloud and recording any responses on audio equipment. It was then that we heard the voices, whispers in an ancient, long-forgotten language that sent a chill down our spines. The voices seemed to come from all around us, filling the room with an otherworldly presence. They spoke of a tragic history, a tale of betrayal, revenge, and unfinished business that had left the mansion forever tainted by the past. As we listened to the voices, a sense of dread settled over us. It was clear that the mansion was not simply haunted by restless spirits, but by something far more malevolent and ancient, an entity that had existed long before the mansion itself. Suddenly, the room was plunged into darkness, and we were enveloped in a suffocating silence. The air grew heavy with a palpable sense of malevolence, and we could feel a presence drawing near. With trembling hands, I switched on my flashlight, revealing a shadowy figure standing at the far end of the room. Its form was indistinct, a swirling mass of darkness that seemed to defy the laws of nature. The figure moved closer, its eyes fixed upon us, and I could feel its malevolent intent. It was then that I realized the entity was not content to remain in the shadows. It wanted something from us, something that had been denied for centuries. As the entity drew nearer, it reached out a shadowy hand toward one of my team members, its fingers passing through his body as if he were made of smoke. His face contorted in pain, and he collapsed to the floor, gasping for breath. In a desperate bid to protect my team, I recited a prayer, invoking a sense of divine protection. The entity let out an unearthly scream, its form writhing and contorting in agony. With a blinding flash of light, the entity was banished, and the room was filled with an eerie stillness. My team member lay on the floor, shaken but alive, and we quickly made our way out of the mansion. As we walked away from the Holloway mansion, I couldn't help but wonder about the true nature of the entity that had haunted the place. It was a force beyond comprehension, a malevolent presence that defied all rational explanation. The mansion, it seemed, was forever tainted by the entity's dark history, a place where the past and present converged in chilling ways, a place where the veil between the living and the dead was thin, and where the mysteries of the paranormal remained as elusive and enigmatic as ever.